Live from Tucson, Arizona, it's Pac-12 women's basketball brought to you by State Farm. The Arizona Wildcats host the 9th-ranked Oregon State Beavers inside the McHale Center. And taking a look at the Pac-12 standings, Oregon State, one of 2 unbeaten teams in conference play. The other one, Arizona State. Meanwhile, Arizona looking for their first conference win. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Anne-Marie Anderson alongside Cindy Brunson. And Cindy, when you look at those standings, you think you might have an idea of how this matchup's going to go, but you say it's not as straightforward as it looks.
That's right. That's the best form of reality television. We're talking Pac-12 basketball because you never know what you're going to get. Here's the deal. Arizona has come oh so close in several contests this season, and the coaching staff tells me they're ready to break through, and Oregon State tells me they are ready for the challenge. They're not going to waste tonight and look ahead to Arizona State on Sunday.
Meanwhile, if you're playing Oregon State, you better be able to move because 6'6" Ruth Hamblin inside changes the way people play.
She absolutely does. She is the junior center. She's the leader, tops in the Pac-12 in field goal shooting percentage at 63%, which is 3rd in the nation, by the way. She's first in blocks in conference play at nearly 4 per 14.9 points a game, 9.6 rebounds as well. She can do it all every night for Scott Grove and company.
Oregon State has been so exciting. Meanwhile, for Arizona, everything Wildcat runs through their leader, Candice Warthen.
She is the straw that stirs the drink. The 5'5" senior guard is the team scoring leader at 12.6 points per game. Tops in assists at 3 per and steals as well. She's tough as nails. In fact, the coaching staff tells me that it's her strength and her weakness because when things don't go well, she shoulders the burden for her entire team. That's how much of a leader she is.
Arizona is capable. They ate away at a 17-point deficit versus Cal and gave them a run last weekend. Meanwhile, Oregon State, they're going to allow you one shot and one shot only.
This Pac-12 basketball production is brought to you in high definition by Cox and Xfinity.
We always knew that when we had another baby, we would love it if I could stay home. The kids shape what we do. Everything's about them. So we had to make a lot of changes. Quick Balance is this really nice feature of the Bank of the West app. The more I check into my balance, the easier it is for me to stay on track. You don't even have to log in. You're on call, 24/7. Every minute that the app saves me is a minute that I can spend with my family. And that means everything to me.
I was not expecting to get a Ford.
We went around the country talking to people who made the switch to Ford.
It felt nicer than my BMW.
Good gas mileage.
EcoBoost makes a 4-cylinder engine feel like a 6-cylinder. My dad went and turned in his Lexus and got the exact same car as me. He had to have it. I don't know if I'll ever not buy a Ford.
Make the switch and lease a new 2015 Ford Escape for just $159 a month, or get one with up to $2,750 cash back. Only at your Arizona Ford dealers.
A sand save like Pure Silk? That's hard. Legs like Pure Silk? That's easy. Pure Silk moisturizes. For legs like Pure Silk. Legs like Pure Silk.
Staples has everything you need for an attention-grabbing presentation. Brochures, business cards, and banners, all at low prices. Still need to grab your client's attention? Staples has that stuff too.
How much?
Make on budget happen, make presentations happen. Staples, make more happen.
Sunday, Pac-12 Networks delivers more exciting women's hoops action. First at 1, the Ducks look to steal a home win away from star-studded Arizona State. Or it's a battle in the Palouse as the Cougars play host to Colorado. Then at 3, the battle-tested Cal Bears invade Pauley Pavilion to face UCLA. And at 5, number 11 Stanford takes on a gutsy USC team. Triple header action begins Sunday at 1 on Pac-12 Networks. Check pac-12.com for games in your area.
Welcome back to Tucson, Arizona, home of the Wildcats. The Arizona Wildcats hosting the 9th-ranked Oregon State Beavers, unbeaten in conference play. It's going to be quite a test. Inside the McHale Center, Oregon State bringing the lineup they have brought all year long. Wisner, Gibson, Weiss, Hunter, and Hamlin. Jamie Wisner coming off a monster weekend.
In fact, 51 points of monsterness from that 5'10 junior guard over her last couple of games, and she's the team's second leading scorer. Can't wait to see her play in person.
Nia Butts putting a lineup on the floor. It's a second consecutive game that she's mixed it up for her team. She had been going with the same players all season long, but brought in Brianna Workman last time around, and it made a little bit of a difference.
6'1" forward. She's a sophomore. She's dealing with some knee pain because of an ACL repair, but man, she is dialed in. Career scoring and rebounding highs, 14 points twice, 11 rebounds against Texas Tech. That was last year, but she scored a dozen points against Stanford and Cal this past weekend. And that's the reason why Nia Butts is relying on her.
Yeah, and Nia was excited about what her team was able to do against Cal. She's in her 7th year. Look, she's got 2 national championships at Tennessee. She expects you to bring intensity, and if you don't, she's going to have you sit down for a bit. Meanwhile, Scott Rueck, the head coach for Oregon State, boy, he's done amazing things at this program. It's his 5th season there. He has got a full buy-in roster. He loves his team, and Cindy, they love him back.
I tell you what, if this team gets the right seeding in the NCAA tournament, they could mess around and make it to Tampa.
Ball in the hands of Sydney Weiss, the sophomore point guard who has been amazing. Last year came in as a freshman on this team and lit the conference on fire. First shot is good from Allie Gibson.
Quick double team on Ruth Hamlin, and Gibson makes him pay, hitting the corner 3.
And you told us about Candice Warthen on the floor for Nia Butts. And the Wildcats, Warthen just 5'5". This Oregon State team very long. And here's Warthen. Wisner in front of her.
The Oregon State coaching staff concerned about the speed of Arizona, though. They're not taking this team lightly by any stretch of the imagination.
6 seconds left. Warthen makes some room and makes a little pop and stop.
She's a leader in every meaning of the word. Not just in scoring the basketball, but making sure this team is on the right page.
Weiss able to draw the foul.
Number 33, Julia Bennett.
And Julia Bennett gets called for her first personal foul.
That's one thing that Nia Butts can't stand, a foul that really can't afford for the Wildcats.
Wisner, little inbound play. It dances around. And it's going to be an Arizona ball.
Leah Washington, splash. Great start for the Wildcats.
Weiss goes inside to Hamlin. 6'6". She loves to turn around, just lay it in like that.
So fundamentally strong. Great footwork. She knows exactly where she's at on that low post.
Melina Washington, ball in her hands, a 5'6" sophomore guard for Arizona. She had that little stop and pop last time around. And great things for Nia Butts. This time for 3. Hey, if you're feeling it, take the shot. Driving all the way to the basket.
You got to stop basketball. That's going to drive Coach Butts crazy. Coach calling out the play from the sideline.
That's one of the things, this Arizona team kind of starting off fast. I don't know that you want to force Oregon State to run that much early. We'll see if they do. They're slowing it down a bit, going deeper into the shot clock. 8 seconds remaining.
They want to get a quality shot. Bennett off the iron, gets her on rebound, put back. And that's something opponents don't get to do very often against Oregon State, quite frankly.
That's right, number 1 in the nation in defensive rebounds. Off the screen, Weiss looking for her shot, and there's a second opportunity now for the Beavers.
Wildcats have to box out. It's those little opportunities that are going to let them compete with the number 9 team in the nation.
Driving baseline.
Great defense by Warthen there. She moved her feet so well and was able to get that strip.
And then she goes pop and stop the other way, and Arizona with an early lead.
This is exactly how Coach Butts drew it up. No double that time on Hamlin down low.
Devin Hunter in again. Ruth Hamlin the foul drawn by Brianna Workman, but she's got to be up on Hamlin like that.
Fouls on Arizona 0.
Gotta love the effort and energy of Candice Warthen. She's number 1 on the jersey and number 1 in steals for the Wildcats, and she knows how to finish as well.
Meanwhile, other end, Hamlin at the free throw line. She's 72% free throw shooter. She's kind of worked herself into national name recognition now, Cindy. Scott Brooks saying people around the country know who Ruth Hamlin is because of her shot blocking ability.
Well, and because of the awesome hashtags on Twitter. Hello, hashtag Hammer, hashtag Ruthless. That's phenomenal.
I love Ruthless. We'd like her to be considered for All-American candidacy because of her numbers. He said in numbers with the number 9th ranked team, so strong. 3 seconds remaining. Shots up from downtown.
Shut the front door. I will have whatever Candice Warthen had for breakfast today. Man alive, she is on fire.
They need her to be 7 points early. 7 of the 11 from Warthen, and there's a foul. Jalea Bennett picks up a second foul.
Jalea Bennett, her second.
That's tough. She gets replaced right away by Keandra Cannon. But let's take another look at that Warthen 3. Shot clock winding down, and she's like, okay, I'll pop. No problem. That was gorgeous.
Warthen averages 12.5 points per game. She's got 7 already. That's great news. But with Jalea Bennett picking up another foul, she's sitting down right now. Hamlin just backing everybody up.
You can't let her get that deep in the post. You just can't. You got to make it difficult on her. Warthen back at the controls.
Feeling comfortable, ball in her hands. Going to try to create again just what you want from the redshirt senior. 10 seconds remaining. Lena Washington. All of a sudden, they're taking a lot of little 10-foot shots. A lot of them falling for them.
High percentage shots. And that's good, particularly when you consider they missed 14 lanes against Cal, and you'd love to have every one of them back.
Weiss finding her groove with 3-pointers. Gibson, Weisner, and Weiss all deadly from beyond the arc.
And they'll get tested against this Wildcats defense. That is second in the Pac-12 in three-point shooting defense.
How about that? Arizona looking crisp today.
Allie Gloyd down low.
Weisner.
Oh, how about a travel? Yes, there it is.
She gets caught from the travel on Candice Warthen's tough defense, but it was Sydney Weiss finding her way, the kind of assists, steals, defensive rebounding, I mean, everything.
We call that D, all of the above.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but it's so important for Nia Butts to have that leader really dialed in, and as you said, she is exactly that. So for Arizona out of the break.
With the ball and the lead against number 9, Oregon State.
Warthen thinking about it, said, you're going to give me that much room, I'll take the shot.
Oh, Washington with a great idea, but a little too aggressive there. Trying to make the most of that opportunity and to turn the Beavers over. And Washington State proved you can turn Oregon State over. They turned them over 23 times. So ball security can be an issue at times for Oregon State.
Absolutely it can, and Sydney Weiss had a lot of those turnovers, and right now she's just trying to find the rhythm for her team. She has been such an incredible leader. She can create space very well.
Workman creating a turnover just in Weisner's face and making her uncomfortable.
Yeah, the second one that Warthen's done on Weisner. Boy, when your senior buys in like that, it really is saying good things. Nobody scored since the timeout, though.
Just a couple of possessions.
Weisner sitting down. In is Gabriella Hansen.
Nice pass.
Lots of room for the shot. It dances around, does not fall.
Workman kicked it out of bounds. That's a good possession, though, for Arizona.
Marie Gulish now in for OSU.
Coming in for Oregon State, Marie Gulish from Cologne, Germany, 6'5", adapting well, holding her own.
Here we go!
We thought about it. Driving hard, trying to go off the glass. And no, ma'am, it is a charge on Allie Gibson.
Beavers 14, Allie Gibson, her first team foul.
Good opportunity here defensively. Workman with tremendous position. Holloway had her player beat her, but Workman had her back.
Inside hard work, no dice off the glass as Marie Gulish makes her presence known. Scott Brooke really likes how she has come along in terms of her aggressiveness.
She's like a point center, very comfortable away from the rim, which is a defensive nightmare for the opposing coaches.
And ball's going to go the other way on that foul.
Player control foul, Arizona's number 15, Keandra Cannon, her first 5th team foul.
Player control foul against Keandra Cannon.
Just too big of a head of steam there. That's a learning curve thing.
5 team fouls for Arizona already. You think Nia Butts told him to come out and be aggressive?
Absolutely. There's a block.
Warthen takes a quick shot. She saw it. She liked it.
Warthen giving these Cats fans plenty to cheer about, and they're imploring their team to play defense.
And another travel call against Oregon State, their 5th turnover already.
I love the defense down low. Absolutely tremendous. Make Oregon State work. And Warthen buries the bucket.
Jones steps back. Shot's not close. And another turnover almost for Oregon State. They recovered the rolling ball.
Oregon State looks a little out of sorts.
How about that defense from Arizona just flummoxing?
Tenacious.
The Beavers.
Nia Butts imploring her players to get on the floor and dive for the basketball.
Fresh shot clock, though, for the Beavers, and now Sydney's going to try to set it up again. For 3, shots well off, though, Sydney. Off the mark. 3rd opportunity.
A little nervous, just a little. And the smallest person on the floor gets the rebound. How about Warthen?
That's absolutely right. 5'5", Candice Warthen says, enough of this.
She flirts with leading the team in rebounds as well.
That's crazy. Right, 5.7 rebounds per game. She's just a hard worker, knows it well. And you mentioned it at the top, Cindy, there's a certain danger to Arizona when they've got nothing to lose. It looks like such a mismatch.
And everything to gain. They want that first win in the win column in Pac-12 play.
And we remember last year well when Arizona State came here. Arizona had not won a game in conference play, and they upset the Sun Devils. Started the Sun Devils on a little bit of a skid with them. Crashing. And so it may not be the prettiest game, but Nia Butts will take it. It's a 5-point Arizona lead. Oregon State 0 for their last 6 shots. And Pac-12 now. Check pac-12.com for games in your area.
Stanley Johnson is so fun to watch. I swear that dude gets better by the dribble.
Speaking of getting better, Arizona off to a strong start here. And Liz Hamlin grabs that rebound, but
It was a good look by Holloway, though, and a nice high percentage shot.
Oregon State getting everybody in already. Scott Rose looking for the right combination. Javonte Hill, right here, ball in her hands. A junior transfer from Hutchinson Community College in now. Shots up, and it's so good for Samantha Signer.
We were watching these guys warm up. I didn't see very many misses from long range.
No, you and I were commenting on that before the game, saying every shot they're putting up, looking good.
Cats fans encouraging their team to do well on offense. See if it works.
9 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Rebound, a big rebound.
And then a big block. 61 blocks now on the season for Ruth Hamlin.
Yeah, 230 career blocks.
Not terrible.
Last year set a record for freshman single season.
Another turnover.
Yeah, and that's really been the problem for Oregon State, hasn't it? 6 turnovers in this game for a team that averages 14 a game.
Alec Lloyd's got to make that. That's a nice, easy baseline jumper, and that's in her wheelhouse.
That's what did it to Arizona against Cal, missing the easy shots right in front. And the and one, driving hard from Javonte Hill.
And that drives Coach Butts crazy, because that's a lack of moving your feet defensively, not stopping the ball up top, and then hacking at the end of the play. Workman will take a seat. Warthen getting a blow.
Candice Warthen just taking a very short rest. We could expect 9 points for her already. Meanwhile, Javonte Hill hits that free throw. She's only had 4 losses in her entire college career. She spent 2 years at Hutchinson Community College, has 2 NJCAA Final Fours. Talk about having success.
Tons of ability. That's a nice bucket.
With Brittany Jones coming off the bench. Nia Butts liked the energies that she brought against Cal coming off the bench. Here she did it again today.
She's a tough kid, playing with pain. Those knee surgeries. Nice block there. Making a shot difficult. That's all the coaching staff can ask for.
Inside, nice dish. Little turnaround with the positioning by Holloway for the rebound.
And that's what Butts wanted everybody to button up after the loss at Cal. When you get that putback opportunity, which is rare against Oregon State, how well they rebound defensively, you've got to make them pay. Holloway wants that one back.
10 seconds on the shot clock. 5 seconds, Wisner needs to create some space. She kicks it out instead of taking the shot. And it's good for 3 at the buzzer.
Wow, that is a backbreaker. Working so hard on defense, and at the very last nanosecond have a 3 fall on you. And as a result, Oregon State has the lead 19-17.
You think when Wisner kicks that ball out that she's not aware of the clock or something like that, but it now looks like, nope, just another open player with a good clear shot.
There you go, Allie, in there. Down low, putting the ball on the deck, strong move, confident, just like Coach dialed it up.
Tied up 19 apiece, under 7 minutes to go. Arizona sticking to the game plan, turning Oregon State over.
Oh, bad communication there. Hamlin wasn't quite ready to receive the Wisner pass. This team loves to pass the basketball. 21.2 assists per, but it didn't work there. We got a great one here in Tucson. Tied up at 19 points apiece with under 7 to play first half.
We don't have an alarm.
And when Candice Warthen is smiling like that, she's forced Jamie Wisner into a couple of travel calls.
She's making her uncomfortable.
Yeah.
She is testing her deodorant, as coaches like to say.
Oh, my. What a phrase.
I'm just saying.
All right. Just quoting others. Warthen back on the floor.
A little bit of pressure from Melina Washington to handle. She's got it.
In front of 5'5" Warthen and 6' Sydney Weiss. Going baseline, off the glass, and that's, again, the shots that have to fall.
Brittany Jones wants that back. She missed bunnies like that against Cal, too. You can't have those misses. Not if you want to take down number 9.
And then Oregon State finishes on the other end, and that is the difference.
Confident drive to the 10 for sure.
You mentioned those easier shots missed. 14 layups, in fact, missed in the game against Cal.
Fouls on the Beavers, number 11.
Taking a look at this last Oregon State basket, that's just easy peasy. If you're not going to stop ball at the top of the key, Oregon State's going to take advantage.
Gabrielle Hansen gets called for the foul there, and then Warthen has plenty of room to drive straight in, draws the foul, got nipped on her elbow.
Foul the shot by the Beavers, 15, and Jamie Weisner.
Weisner looks up like, what, me? Huh? What?
Weisner gets called on that, and so Warthen, it goes to the line. She's a really solid free throw shooter, just under 85%.
They call them free throws for a reason. Don't want to leave points at the free throw line. Not in this game. Not against number 9.
Keandra Cannon checks in for the Wildcats, replacing Sharice Holloway.
Holloway goes out, and Keandra Cannon comes in.
Warthen for the tie. I am the kiss of death. It's official.
I know.
Doggone it. Naya Bucks was helping the referee make that call. That moving screen up top, very easy to see, and that's a point of emphasis this year. You cannot have those moving screens. You've got to be set in place. You can't bring the elbow. That's a great call by the referees.
Very important distinction. Great point by you, Cindy. And Oregon State with a 1-point lead, but another turnover. 8. Driving around, falling back, and there's a finish by Brittany Jones.
Using the window well. She's been learning this season that the glass can be her friend.
Gulich.
Nice move. Arizona's got to do a better job of not letting the ball get so far down low. The posts are just having a field day.
And Warthen takes a little bit of an outside shot. They're just not falling. And the shooting percentage for Arizona State starting to, or for Arizona, excuse me, starting to tick down a bit.
There goes Warthen on the run. Fastest player on the floor.
Draws the foul, and right then, Gabrielle Hansen knew it. Don't foul, don't foul, don't foul. Did it. It's her second.
But Hansen didn't think she fouled. And if we take another look at it, that was almost as clean of a defensive play as you're going to see, and the whistle was a little bit late.
Candice Warthen.
Warthen made 1 of 2 last time. Well, you're not going to say anything this time, are you?
Quiet as a church mouse.
Candice checks in, replacing Allie Lloyd for the Wildcats.
Ward goes out, and Deja James comes in. Warthen makes both of those off your silence, and look at you, just not going to say a thing.
Hey, man.
Arizona back in the lead.
I don't want Wildcats fans hating on me. It's a tough group. And a hungry group. They know this team is ready to break through. They've just been waiting so patiently, and this might be the night.
Weisner, great positioning. Fresh clock for the Beavers.
The referees behind me wanted a traveling call.
Oh my, a little too fancy, not going to happen.
Great eyes by Warthen to see that Cannon was open. Should have used the window there. That's an easy bucket.
They pushed the pace, they transitioned just fine, and then didn't finish.
That's the only thing missing from this team.
It's a big thing to be missing, and from the baseline, the threes keep falling. This one from Allie Gibson. That's the 5th one made by the Beavers from beyond the arc today.
5 made threes, and they're only up 2. I think Arizona will take that.
Coming the other way, Brittany Jones does one. That one for 2, and tied up again.
Oregon State moves the basketball so well. Great spacing. Jones got in the middle of that one.
Yeah, Weisner got clipped in the face unintentionally by Jones.
Follows on Arizona's 20.
There's a reason why Oregon State has only lost one game this season, and it's ball movement. Bam. Tie game.
Rainwater.
Halftime report. We're going to send you back to our Pac-12 Network studios where Jill Savage will take you through that Oregon versus 13th ranked Arizona State matchup that happened earlier today. And then how about a little gymnastics, a top 10 matchup, UCLA and Utah. And of course, first half stats and analysis of this game. Cindy, you told us before the game it wasn't going to be as straightforward a matchup as it looked like. Oregon State unbeaten in conference play. Arizona still looking for their first conference win. It's a matchup.
I tell you what, I think Washington State set the tone by forcing the game they did against Oregon State, letting the rest of the conference know if you turn the Beavers over and make them uncomfortable when you play defense against them, you've got an opportunity. And Wazoo only lost that game by 3 points.
And Scott Brooks saying there are no negatives coming out of that.
Another block by Hamlin.
He got a lot of great preparation out of the Washington and Washington State tests, he said. And sometimes it's good to be tested that tightly, especially when you're a team like Oregon State, who has been winning by an average of almost 20 points.
It just speaks to how tough the conference is, top to bottom. No night is an easy night in Pac-12 play.
7 seconds remaining. Shots open. Of course she's brave enough. Devin Hunter's running the three-party.
That's 6 made threes. Feels like the Wildcats need a bucket here.
6 made threes by 5 different players.
Versatility. That's what makes Oregon State so lethal. That was made by Marina Washington.
For Washington, her 4th point. It's really been Candice Warthen leading the way. 12 points for Warthen. That's her game average.
She can't do it all. She's going to need some help. LaBrittany Jones trying to interrupt the pass down low, fronting Hamlin. It's a good defensive look because she's long and athletic. She can do that.
$15 seconds remaining. Weiss. You can just tell when she lets it go.
She knows.
Oregon State not even having to travel into the paint now. They're starting to hit everything from outside, and Arizona answering back.
Hello, Deja James. How are you doing? Key bucket for the Wildcats as they're down just 4 with under 2 to play. That was an easy offensive call to foul. Wow. Hamlin getting a little frustrated with the pressure that Arizona is trying to apply down low, making her comfortable. And she lets everybody know that she can do a lot when she wants to. And the referees are like, don't do that much, thank you.
17 fouls for each of these teams. It's been an interesting game. A lot of fouls. A lot of turnovers for Oregon State, relatively. Meanwhile, Arizona doing a great job taking care of the ball. Just 2 turnovers, shooting 41% from the floor, despite really missing some of the easier shots.
Yeah, it should be 50%. Easy.
That's where she likes it, down low on the block. You made the point earlier, but right now they're not falling for Hamlin.
Arizona back to work with less than a minute to play. Key possession here.
Plenty of room for LaBrittany Jones. It rattles. Oh! 10-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Inside the Hamlin. Get it to her. She'll finish.
Basketball.
6-6. Tough to defend.
And so with 18 seconds remaining, Nia Butt's going to take a timeout. And talk to her team, and you mentioned it earlier. They said don't let her get the ball down low in the block, and she did. We remind you at halftime.
Of late, running their sets, and just lethal from three-point range.
Yeah, 7 shots from beyond the arc is really difficult to combat when some of the other things haven't gone right necessarily. There's 17 seconds remaining.
That's the difference in the ball game.
Arizona might want to take the last shot, but Warthen.
That was pretty. What a kiss out the window.
Another opportunity for Oregon State. And of course, they're going to put it to Hamlin, who finishes it. Second buzzer shot for Oregon State in this first half.
Wow. Good finish for Oregon State.
Welcome back to 9th-ranked Oregon State, leading Arizona by a slim margin, just 6 points here at the McHale Center. Amory Anderson alongside Cindy Brunson. Oregon State hit 5 of their last 7 shots to close out the first half. From beyond the arc, they are as advertised. Meanwhile, Arizona, some nice shooting early, especially from Candice Warthen.
I think what's most impressive about Oregon State is it built the lead without a single player in double figures. Ruth Hamlin leading the way with 8 points, balance across the box score.
Turn the other way. Important rebound from Devin Hunter. We mentioned it at the beginning of the broadcast. Oregon State #1 in the nation in defensive rebounds. They're an O-board.
.24 total rebounds now for Oregon State. Nice pass. Great idea. But great defense by Warthen to just be pesky and in there and mixing things up.
Jamie Weisner driving baseline.
It's a good move.
So athletic.
Bumped by Jamie Weisner.
Nice move, Jamie!
It's Weisner's first points of the game.
And that's what Oregon State can do. I mean, the pressure is so spread around on these players. You know somebody's going to pick it up. The great speed, the outlet pass, and Weiss is fired up.
And Nia Butts needs time. That was a quick little start for Oregon State.
A 4-0 run to start the second half. Oregon State pushing the pace, reminding everybody why they're #9 in the country.
Charlie, AT&T's network now has the nation's strongest LTE.
But that right there is a display of why this team averages 21.2 assists a game. They share the basketball, and that's how they're able to be so dominating, why they're a top 10 team in the nation.
And Sydney Weiss just right on with the pass, and Oregon State comes out a quick 6-0 run. And for Arizona, this is the moment. You have to be tough here, or Oregon State is just going to step on the gas.
You got to get a bucket.
4 seconds remaining. Julia Bennett able to draw the foul.
Bennett started the season as the team's best free thrower, around the 80% mark, but she's dropped off a little bit.
Nia Butts really pleased with her effort, though. Works hard in practice. You mentioned that this is her second start of the season. Her first start was against Cal, and when we asked Nia Butts why, she said, I like the energy she brings. She's going to sacrifice her body for an offensive rebound and do the work. Weiss just going to keep moving off the screens. Hunter, plenty of room.
Can't leave her that wide open. Arizona caught it right there. Good court vision by Warthen.
Malia Washington runs in, and Hamlin says, I'm called the Hammer.
Her third block on the day. I like Ruthless better.
I do too. I think it's a lot of fun. But that one, she brought it down like a hammer.
Good opportunity here for Arizona to cut into this 10-point lead.
Warthen brought so much energy at the beginning of the first half. They'd like her to do it again, get on a little streak again. And meanwhile, 4 blocks.
right at her season average.
Yeah, there's a bunch of things besides the blocking that Scott Rueck really likes about Ruth Hamblin, and one of them is a real mental issue. He says she gets over failure immediately. She isn't somebody who dwells when she does make a mistake. She came out of a very small graduating class of about 10 people in far north British Columbia, and just a smart player. Rueck liked her maturity immediately when she arrived last year.
And all the international experience now with Team Canada really showing its dividends.
The way drawing the foul. Allie Gibson gets tagged with her second personal. You get the sense, though, that for Oregon State, even though this game isn't so smooth, Cindy, there's no panic, there's no rush.
No, very calm, cool, and collected.
Granted, they're up by 10, but Scott Rueck's team not playing as sharp as he would like. But, boy, you try to get near that low block, and Ruth Hamblin going to send you packing.
But you can't help but be impressed with the defense. 5 blocks now for Hamblin. And the defense is where this team is making hay. That's where they started the turnaround and really started to slow Arizona down. And that's been critical. That and hitting all of those triples. That's why this team is going to mess around and make it to Tampa. I'm almost ready to write it down with a Sharpie at this juncture. Look at that passing.
Weiss, 3.
3-pointers, Sydney Weiss.
And again, Arizona's shots are good. They're just not falling.
Unlike the first half where they were dropping. They were getting those nice little mid-range jumpers or those short bunnies, and they were finishing. Here goes Candice, Warthen, steal, and the finish. Arizona needed that in a big way.
Oregon State just so smart. Weiss changing speeds, able to draw the foul from Julia Bennett. She's saying, I can't believe I fell for it again. And meanwhile, Weiss for 3. Amazing. 8 threes for Oregon State in this game.
Are you okay, Mom? Yes, I am.
Life insurance from New York Life can help your...
Burnout by Oregon State, and we weren't seeing that in the first half. And some of those blocks were live ball turnovers, which means Oregon State was on the run with the block, exactly like Coach drew it up.
5 blocks for Hamblin, as you mentioned. 1 more for Marie Gulich for a total of 6 for Oregon State.
Nice display by Workman. That's how you out-rebound 6'6". You have to have a body in her. And then Arizona comes down and turns the basketball over.
Yeah, and they've done a good job taking care of the ball, for sure. Great job, in fact. That's just their 3rd turnover of the game. Just unfortunate timing. Because now you get the feeling that Oregon State's really comfortable again.
Yeah, I'm missing the Arizona energy. They came out just on fire. It wasn't just Warthen, although she was a big part of it. They just had a bounce in their step, and they seemed to settle into the fact that, oh, this is number 9. Maybe we were lucky in the first half. And it's a bummer to see, because I want to see Oregon State tested.
How about a takeaway there?
Yeah, a run to the NCAA tournament isn't going to be easy.
And a beautiful job by Warthen, just holding it.
That was great elevation.
Points off turnovers, such a key. Leads cut back down to single digits.
There's a little bit more of that energy I was talking about. And that's an energy zapper right there.
It totally is. I mean, you feel like Arizona starts to believe, and then Oregon State reminds you, look, we are fantastic from beyond the arc. 46.5% coming into this game.
Ridiculous. And better than that tonight. 50% now. 9 of 18 from 3. 9 of 18 from 3. And yet, nobody is in double digits for Oregon State. Balance, balance, balance.
Oregon State have won 28 of their last 31 games, dating back to last February.
That's a beautiful pass.
They have one senior on their team, Cindy, and they are playing this well. I mean, this is a program that's going to be around for a while.
I was stunned at Pac-12 Media Days when we were up in San Francisco, Anne-Marie, that Oregon State didn't get more first-place vote preseason poll love. I was stunned by that. You return all of that scoring, and here's your third-place projection. Thank you very much.
I think people are really, if they've been late to the party, they have to notice them now. Oregon State on both sides, by the way, as Warthen hits another one.
Warthen's not going down without a fight. I like her moxie. I like it a lot.
You like 20 points from her today? Because she's got that already. Inside to Ruth Hamlin. That's the way she likes it.
She's hit double digits. She's the first one for Oregon State in double figures now with 10.
Oregon State men and women, one of only 4 programs in the country that don't have a home loss on either side. Arizona, meanwhile, answering back, refusing to let the lead get too big.
And back to your point about home cooking in Corvallis, pretty nice place to be these days.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Devin Hunter's shot goes nowhere, and so Oregon State, they're living and dying by the outside, but then again, they could also dish it right inside and make it work. That one to Devin Hunter, and of course, when in doubt, go to the hammer. You call her ruthless, you call her deadly. Little turnaround, it's good. Washington looking for room. And on the other side, meet Ruth Hamlin.
That's 6 blocks now. For those of you keeping track at home, she's pretty good.
Ruth Hamlin, we talked about what a smart player she is. How about a 3.86 in mechanical engineering? And Scott Brooks says, yes, it does translate to the court.
Well, we clearly didn't study those kind of things in school because we're here at the broadcast table, but it is a treat to watch her play, that is for sure.
No, but Sydney Reese, I'll tell you what, she's a 3.8 digital communication arts. She'd like to be here someday, and she likes the idea of broadcasting. She's a lot of fun, did a great job at Media Day. 6 seconds remaining on the shot clock, and a turnover by Arizona.
Good defense. Allie Gibson making her presence known on both ends of the floor. She's got 8 points. Unlucky at everything but ball. But look at Gibson right there. Like her tenacity.
Yeah, an out ball will go Oregon State's way. With the possession arrow, Beavers in the driver's seat with a 12-point lead.
I was younger coming to the U.S. It was a dream to me. I was determined.
Hoop action. Meanwhile, Sunday, women's hoops explodes. 4 pivotal head-to-head conference matchups. First at 11, it's a battle in Seattle with the Utah Utes facing Jasmine Davis and the Huskies. And then at 1, it's a top 15 showdown in Tempe. As Sophie Bruner and the 13th-ranked Sun Devils welcome this 9th-ranked Oregon State team. Or, on the rise, Washington State squares off with the Buffs. And then at 5, number 11 Stanford looks for a key road win over USC. All the action begins Sunday at 11 on Pac-12 Networks and Pac-12 Now. Check pac-12.com for games in your area. Taking a look at some other action around the conference, Stanford and UCLA in a pretty tight battle.
I love what Corey Close is doing at UCLA, and I'm ready for that team to show its maturity now. We know that freshman class is so heralded, and they're really starting to show it now.
Meanwhile, the mountain schools giving fits to the Washington schools.
Washington schools have the toughest sled in Pac-12 play this year.
Washington. Perfect. She heard you say her name.
Melina needed that. You could tell her confidence was starting to wane a little bit. That's a good bucket for her. Nia Butts imploring her team to get down in defensive stance and move feet. And Holloway doesn't, and Gibson makes her pay.
Ball in Warthen's hands.
Great pass.
But boy, look at Ruth Hamlin. I mean, how do you get past that?
You don't. You got to pass out of that. You got to recognize 6'6".
And then the transition the other way.
This is where Oregon State will remind you a little bit of UConn, where you look up and all of a sudden, okay, the lead is growing exponentially in a nanosecond.
Yeah, it's that run. The run, the calm play. Warthen creates.
How did she get that shot up?
Fouls on the Beavers, 22. Javante Hill, her first personal.
Tremendous defense by Oregon State. Again, another block. Hamlin doing it all. It's a live ball turnover, so another tremendous pass. We talked about how many assists they do a game, more than 21 a game. They share the basketball. They distribute well. It's a fun team to watch. It makes me wonder how in the world they lost at Tennessee. I talked to some of the coaches. They said it was a big environment, a lot of fans, hostile environment. But it was a great learning experience as this team prepares to make a push for Tampa. I know some Oregon State fans that have already checked out flights, how to get from Oregon to Tampa. So they're ready to go.
Meanwhile, Candice Warthen having a day for Arizona. 22 points, her season high.
That's tremendous. Her career high is 36. I'd love to see her get that, too.
Well, they're going to need her, too, because it feels like the Beavers are getting more and more comfortable.
Well, Warthen's shooting outside of 6'6" Hamlin. That's why she's having success.
Right.
She's out of the paint. Everybody who's rooting for Arizona wanted a traveling call there.
Shots up, off the glass, and in for Gabriella Hansen.
And she knew. Her prayer was answered. Little smile on her face, and then good defense. Comes up with a steal as Arizona gets lackadaisical with the basketball.
Still 10 minutes remaining in this game. And Oregon State just starting to go to work, it seems. Getting mechanical. Nia Butts is out on the floor, very fired up.
Fouls on Arizona.
This is easy to get upset about. You got to stop the basketball.
Second team foul. Timeout Arizona.
Nia Butts, known for her energy, known for her defense when she was a player at Tennessee, just looking for somebody to bring the heat.
That's why she changed the starting lineup against the California schools. And they've got to mature quickly, or this Pac-12 schedule is going to chew them up and spit them out.
And Arizona's had a tough time. I mean, no doubt. Last year they played their final half of the season with 7 healthy players or less. And so Nia Butts happy to have more bodies to move around this year and trying to find the great chemistry that she knows exists.
It's a nice move.
That's so perfect from Gulich, reverse underneath.
Did we already use up our pure silk thing? That was pretty. Hashtag 12 best.
Yeah, secondary pure silk play of the game. How about that?
Let's go! Red and blue! Let's go! Red and blue! Let's go!
Washington getting vocal out top. Calling the play she wants.
7 seconds remaining with Brittany Jones.
Great looking jump shot. Lost start of the mid-range jumper.
For Arizona, they need some serious defensive stops here and then those shots. In and a foul, 3 second violation.
For the Wildcats, Brianna Workman checks in. Colby Orem
Enters the game for Oregon State. Number 12 in black, Scott Ruick saying she's ready to break out. She just hasn't had the opportunities because Hamlin's playing so well.
But what a luxury to have.
Weiss and Weisner, the only two starters for Oregon State on the floor. Warthen gets stopped, this time by Weiss. Looking for the shot, looking to share the ball, and Orem turns around.
Everything but rebound. Wow. 17-point lead now for Oregon State.
Yeah, and Colby Orem makes an impact.
It's a nice confidence builder for her.
Yeah, and Scott Brooks saying he really hoped that she would be able to get in and get some good minutes today. She is light years ahead, he said, in terms of her defensive awareness than she was last year, and you see her trying to defend now. Meanwhile, Washington ends up turning it over.
Live ball turnover. Weisner's going to wait for some help.
There'd be no advantage to Oregon State taking a quick shot.
No. Not the way they pass the basketball and create space and movement.
Take the time. Gulich.
Jones. What athleticism on that block.
Warthen. And man, the length of Oregon State. And Marie Gulich, the freshman from Germany, big defensively, but offensively, look at this move. A little reverse layup underneath Oregon State, leading by a bunch.
Offense, this thing escalated in a hurry.
Yeah, and Arizona has had moments where they've been able to overcome big deficits. I mean, they were down 17 versus Cal. They came back to lead by 2 with 6 minutes remaining. Whether or not they're going to give that energy right now to Nia Butts is to be seen.
That's been the problem for Arizona during conference play, getting into these big deficit situations. That's something they've got to work on and avoid in the future.
Nia Butts, so positive in every approach to the game, talks about energy, effort, enthusiasm. 4 seconds remaining on the clock. Warthen off a screen, just a tiny bit short. Not Warthen, but the shot. That's her joke.
There we go, 5-5.
Orem working hard, but LaBrittany Jones saying, don't you remember?
Under 6 minutes to play, I'm sure Beaver fans, like myself, are wondering, why aren't there more bench players in this game right now with Arizona State looming on Sunday?
He's got just 2 starters out there.
Yeah, but still, that's too many, is it not?
We'll see what happens, because it's a great point. They have Arizona State coming up on Sunday. Another unbeaten team in Pac-12 play. Arizona State beat Oregon earlier today. They came from down by 2 at the half. Charlie Turner-Thorne doing a great job with the team, and that is balanced in every way as well. That's going to be a really interesting matchup.
And Cal Briggs is doing some great things at Oregon. Once he gets the players that he needs in his system, watch out.
A turnover again. Arizona with an opportunity. You must convert.
Is everybody okay, first and foremost? Uh-oh. Ponytail tied up in the chair.
That's the best case scenario then.
I know. Another look at Sydney Weiss hitting the deck hard.
Personal, 4th team foul.
Keandra Cannon with a head of steam.
Devin Hunter comes in for Oregon State in place of Marie Gulich. Hunter comes in for the rebound. Eager.
She handles well.
This Oregon State team had no one on the Pac-12 preseason team.
That's a stunner.
Offensive foul.
Wisner called for the elbow on that drive, and that was an easy call to make because she was creating some space there, and you just can't do that. Arizona back to work.
Jones. Again, the shot's not falling for Arizona. The defensive effort is there, honestly. They're getting some of the defensive stops they wanted. They've been able to force Oregon State into 14 turnovers. Still 4 minutes remaining.
And on any other night, that would be a clean effort by this Arizona team. But the post defense, the points in the paint numbers for Oregon State just continue to mount as they feast down low. 30 points in the paint for the Beavers.
With Brittany Jones working hard. The defense, though, and that time it was the effort of Colby Oram. I told you that Scott Ruick said she's light years ahead of her defensive awareness where she was last year. There she's getting a chance to display it.
Oregon State looking to add to the 16-point lead. But Oram is whistled for the offensive foul.
Arizona needs to come up with some energy quick. It's a 16-point lead.
Yeah, it escalated in a heartbeat, in part because of three-point shooting, and secondly, balance. Everybody who's gotten in the game wearing a Beaver uniform has their name in the box score, and everybody has contributed. There goes Holloway.
A shot from Sharice Holloway, the freshman from Tracy, California. She had some good shots early on, 20 points against Washington State.
3 or 4 shooting from 3 in that game.
Yeah, she hit 4 3-pointers. I mean, she really had some great movement. She put up 10 points again versus Stanford, and so Arizona has the talent.
She's just a freshman, and she's learning. And she was in the starting lineup and then was asked to watch and learn for a little bit. She'll get better. She's one of the players that I saw when I came to practice in November who just has that swagger. And you go, wait a minute, who's that player?
Right.
She's got that.
Beautiful feed inside from a team that's second in the nation in assists per game, and now you see why.
Hansen is the glue. That player is so fun to watch. She does it well on the defensive end and then gets those buckets to go. Just a weapon.
Drawing a foul.
Foul's on 24, Sydney Weiss, her third.
Foul is on Sydney Weiss. It's her third.
2 shots for Sharice Holloway.
Holloway's swagger wouldn't let that one fall. Samantha Signer checks in, and Javante Hill comes in as Weiss and Devin Hunter leave for Oregon State. And now, as Wisner leaves, there are no starters for Oregon State on the floor any longer.
Hey, this is a great opportunity for Oregon State to improve its depth. They're going to need everybody to make it to Tampa to impress in the Pac-12 tournament. Remember, Oregon State didn't win the tournament. USC did last year. You have to be ready to go and have everybody ready to contribute.
You know, it's funny because you're talking about Tampa and you're talking about the tournament. They're going to need everybody on Sunday against an Arizona State team that has not lost a conference game yet, who have been dominating, whose defense is just nightmarish. In fact, Charlie Turner Thorne calls Promising Mukamara the Nigerian nightmare. And look at that shot! A circus shot.
That was phenomenal. Yeah, Promise is crazy fast, and she's a blur. I tried to take pictures of her at practice, and I couldn't get the camera to go slow enough. It was unbelievable.
Let's take a look at that scoop again.
This is just fun to watch. This is head down, knowing where she is on the basketball floor, using the window, and of course her teammates love it. And that's what makes this team so formidable. It's not just a couple of stars. It's a unit. It's a bunch of players that want everybody to succeed, and that is scary for the opposition.
The Brittany Jones makes 1 of 2 for Arizona.
I was hoping she'd get that one so she would have a dozen in 3 straight games. pressure by Arizona.
And Nia Butts has said, look, the little things aren't so little. Big ships don't turn quickly is one of her favorite phrases. It's going to take some time to build this Arizona team to where she wants it to be.
Well, she's got a player in Taryn Griffey that's just not available to play now as a freshman. King Griffey Jr.'s daughter, coming off an ACL out of high school. This would be a different Arizona team if she were able to play. And there she is, only able to spectate. But I tell you what, when she shoots in practice, it's frightening. She is a scorer. And Arizona has a lot to look forward to in her.
We have a lot to look forward to, as you point out. With a lot of this youth, it's just a matter of getting the energy, the effort, enthusiasm, along with the knowledge for Nia Butts.
That's a nice finish.
Colby Orr, meanwhile, has done exactly what Scott Rueck hoped that she would. Came in, grabbed 3 rebounds, 4 points. Getting some important experience. And as this one winds down, Oregon State faces Arizona State next.
Nice 18-point win tonight.
Nia Butts heading to Scott Rueck. These two coaches, each of them telling me how much they respect each other before the game. And Cindy, it's an Oregon State win.
Absolutely. This game was all about 3